Hey guys, Joe with BitRage. So the market is down by quite a bit today, and I'm sure by now you've noticed that Bitcoin dropped below 10,000 on several exchanges here today. It's down at about 8.5% right now. Everything else is down about 10%. Stellar's down almost 13.5%. So you have to ask yourself the question, well, what is going on? What is it now? What is the new piece of information or news that is causing this kind of a massive sell-off, a massive panic? I have to say that in a lot of cases, this kind of a movement is not even caused by something that will significantly impact cryptocurrency. It's just something that people believe will. In this case, this is something that could influence and impact cryptocurrency by quite a bit, and it's something you should be aware of. So we did a video here on Tether a couple days ago, and we explained some of the concerns we've had with it and some of the things we see that just don't ring true to us. And then this news comes out. So Bitcoin bleeds over news of US government subpoena, and this is not as recent of news as people would like you to believe, as these news sites would like you to believe it is. CoinDesk here did a similar article, and these sites have a lot of viewers, they have a lot of influence, and so when articles like this goes up, it can cause a mass panic, and that's what we saw. This news comes out after Tether announced that it was going to abandon its auditor, and we're not going to get an audit anytime soon. So CCN did an article here about it, and apparently what happened is the US Commodity Futures Trading Commission sent subpoenas to both Bitfinex and Tether. And then Bloomberg reached out to them and asked them to comment on this, and they declined to comment. So we don't have an official statement from either of them, but you should know that both of them have received subpoenas. And so this is likely because Tether has never released its balance sheet audit. They've never done it, and so there are a lot of questions whether or not what they're saying is actually true. So why should you even worry about this? Well, Tether has about 2.2 billion in circulating supply. So if something happens to Tether, we're going to see a big move in the market and a big correction, simply because you're going to see a lot of volume taken out of the market. Will that happen? It might not. It depends on what happens with these subpoenas. But it's important to realize that this isn't as new of information as these news sites are trying to make you believe it is. So a lot of people are saying that Tether is going to cause Bitcoin to drop. There is some truth to this. If Tether simply disappeared, you would see a massive correction in the market. So there are a lot of news sites talking about this, and a lot of them are saying that if Tether suddenly disappears, you could see a 30 to 80% reduction in Bitcoin's price. And there's some truth in that. If Tether suddenly drops, you're going to see a lot of volume just disappear. And so you're going to see quite a big correction in the market. I'm not sure that's actually going to happen, but if it does, you can expect a really huge correction. But the flip side to this is that if this is true, if Bitcoin drops by 80%, let's say that happens, that is going to be the biggest buying opportunity of your life. It's going to come back, and it's going to come back stronger. So a notable detail that was left out in this whole story, and most of the stories that I saw, is that these subpoenas weren't sent recently. They were sent on December 6th. So Bloomberg originally started this story, and then they added the detail about it being from December 6th. So that's important. This isn't as recent as people think it is, but it is something that you should keep in mind. It's also interesting to note that if this is the case, if they received a subpoena on December 6th, from that time till now, they've printed over 1 billion Tether. So think about that. If you had the ability to print money out of nowhere, and you knew that, well, you're going to get shut down, well, what would you do? You'd go out and print as much money as possible before this happens. Get as much out of this as possible before it crashes, before it dies, before the regulators come in and stop you. I'm not saying this is actually what's happening, but it is kind of suspicious that they are served these subpoenas and then you see a flood of new Tether into the market and you just see a ton printed. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to update you on what is going on in this whole story and why the market is down right now. If you have some thoughts on this, leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts on it is. I'd love to hear from you. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that and like this video if you liked it. We appreciate your support. Thanks for watching guys. Take care.